Hey, it's Midnight Sun here, and we're back with our hardcore Barbarian. And if you guys remember, we were able to do pretty good here, going through with just the Rend, Weapon Throw, Fierce Charge, Battle Rage, Threatening Shout, and Seismic Slam. I didn't get the final passive in here, and this one's going to be a really good one. And that one we're going to keep on here. I don't really care for that one. Fatal Damage is great for hardcore. What else do we have on here that could be pretty useful? Let's see here. I like that you no longer degenerate Fury one. So now we'll be able to gain Fury slowly, and we should be able to start spamming Seismic Slam and everything like that, no problem here. So we're going to go ahead and put those in first. Now, that being said, if we look at the season journey here, we see that we have to complete Nephilim Rifts, complete bounties, do Acts 1 through 5, raise the Mystic to level 10, kill Diablo, Izwool, and a bunch of other stuff. We're going to have to be doing Nephilims on Expert, Master, and Torment 1 difficulties. And we're currently in Torment 1, which is what we were hanging out in when we hit level 70. Now, it's just kind of a quick little test. Let's see how we're doing here. I gotta test out my damage. I thought I was going to get some bug shooting out of there. Alright, the Torment 1 isn't looking very safe, just based on those first set of elites right there. Now, it's not like we can't do that with the bugs or with non-elites. Clearly, we're still able to do some damage there, but that doesn't look very safe at all. So, I'm going to go ahead and back out of here after killing this guy. I don't want to get caught on the way leaving there. So I just wanted to test it out. Torment 1, maybe if we were in a non-hardcore character, we could do that. But hardcore doesn't look like that's the case. So we're going to drop down real quick. And I'm going to go ahead and say that maybe we could do Master difficulty. Again, a little sketchy here. But we'll take a peek and we'll see. What we want to know is if we can get into some visions here and if it'll be safe or not. So I'm going to activate my battle cries and stuff now. And keep an eye on our health here. Okay, so this seems doable. Which means that we can run through and do a Nephilim bounty or Nephilim Rift on this difficulty and probably be fine and kill the Rift Guardian. Again, this isn't too safe here, and this is a little bit risky to do. But I feel like I'm a little bit behind, so I'm trying to catch up a little bit here. And of course, we could lose everything in the process. Now you can see we're also no longer really using Rend as much. We could still hit the bugs with it, but our Seismic Slam is doing so much damage that it just makes sense to keep using it. And there's a Resplendent Chest. We're going to open these now. So far our health hasn't dipped even slightly. And I was hoping a portal would show up right about now. But it doesn't seem to be the case. So we're going to see how dangerous the portals are here in a minute. I'm sure one will show up soon. And if the portals are looking a little sketchy or dangerous, I'm actually going to go ahead and do what I've been usually doing the past couple seasons. Which is going into that alt character, running through 70. Or 1 through 70 real quick, and getting through portals at lower levels to get up a lot of death breath so I can upgrade. Because that's definitely taking a while to do that elite there. Okay. And no one's commented if, at least when I'm making this video, whether you guys want this edited down, or if you guys want it to be kind of fully through here, just like this. So I'll just, for this one, edit it down a little bit, and then we'll see if you guys like that. And if you guys don't, then we'll go back to the other way. And there's our vision. Was thinking we'd have to run through again. All right, let's see how we're doing here. Elites right off the bat. That's always exciting. Are we gonna die right off the bat here? Let's see. We might. Those wallers are perfectly timed. That's impressive. All right. All right. We needed to get rid of some of these guys. Cannot get frozen here. And we really got to watch out for those, oh man, I can't even think of the name of them. Those beams there. All right, come on. We got a couple more death breath there. That was really scary. And we're still not really out of the danger right now. We need to be staying kind of near these portals here. Be able to jump back if we need to. I really want this death breath in here. Alright. Those charging guys are a menace. Okay, I kind of want to group these guys up a little bit here, because Seismic Slam is an area damage, and a couple swings takes them out. Now you can't get too many of them, otherwise you're going to get crowd controlled and die. There we go. Impossible. Same thing here. We kind of want to gather these guys towards each other a little bit. I'm hoping to get at least maybe 3 or 4 more death breath if there's some more monsters up here. I can't. Come on. Okay, well, there's 2 more. And that was everybody, I believe. All right. So we saw that if you don't leave those elite areas, they'll pull you right in. So like that one, there's no way in heck we're going to be able to do that. So we'll hop right back out. Now I'm going to go ahead and return to town real quick. And I'm going to see what I can do for upgrades and stuff here. Yeah, 29 death breath. So I am able to upgrade something. Now, there is a 2-handed mighty weapon that I could upgrade into right now, but then I would have to lose my Fury of the Vanished Peak here, which is doing a lot of basically my only damage to be able to stay in this difficulty even slightly. So I'm going to try and think about what else could be useful, and I think it's going to have to be the bracers. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a fresh set of level 70 bracers here. By going to armor. See, I got plenty to work with here. And how are these doing? 571, 397. Okay. I got to keep an eye out for some new jewelry too. Okay, so I'm going to upgrade here. And enemies hit by knockback suffer 21% increased damage. So that's not the best. Not really what I was looking for or hoping for. Now, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and try to... Oh, and I did get Let Socks, and I found out later on this is something I used for the Leap Quake build, which is great. I'm going to go ahead and put these in my stash here, and all of this stuff actually is going to go in here. And then let me scrap the rest of this. And then we're going to go over to our spare, put those on, start at a low level, which we should be at level 1, I believe, for our spare here. And then go to Temple of the Firstborn on Torment 6 and run through it and hope we get a longer portal to rack up a whole bunch of extra items and gear, maybe some extra legendaries from leveling. So we'll take a peek and see what we get here. Oops, wrong thing. All right. All of these. All right, and I missed a helm. There you are. Okay, and then it looks like these were our starting things, so we'll just chuck them on the ground. Straight over to Temple of the Firstborn. Now we've got to remember what skills we have available to us right now. Seismic Slam is going to be doing a lot of our damage, so we have to unlock that. So we're going to keep going until we get some decent skills on us. That's probably the biggest way you could die doing this, is forgetting that you don't have a Furious Charge on your bar, you don't have Leap or anything of that nature. So luckily, Torment 6 is really fast and easy to do. And a couple swings of the hammer are going to get us caught back up here. There we unlocked Rend. Nothing here should be threatening to us as well, by the way. We could probably stand still and not die with all of the extra gear we got on. And we're hoping to get a vision here soon. I can't remember what that one was. This one was Furious Charge. I think this one was Battle Rage, actually. But it helps to know what you're using. All right. Wrong way. Okay, and we should be fine to do this up to about level 50 or so. So if we hit about level 50, we'll have to restart. And we don't really care about those chests now at this point. And there it is. Alrighty, we got an amulet there. Now we do like the legendaries here, even if we can't really equip them, and that's because we can scrap them to get some early materials. And we're looking for the elites. That's what we want. Rift Guardians are fine too. If you guys would stop stunning me, that'd be great. There we go. And I want to see what this ring is, just in case. Could be like a ring of might or something. You never know. No, that is the worst ring. All right, and then let me just double check and see if we've got... Okay, this is 55. That's when we unlock that. We got necrosis on our bar. And there's another one. So we're getting some legendaries. Occasionally, most of these aren't going to be good legendaries, but you might find the occasional one that is really helpful. And I could extract one of the frenzy things right now, I believe, and put that on. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I forgot to put some of my stuff that's in the cube on this guy. So we'll pause for a second and go look at that. There's some extra death breath that I've been looking for. Any armor pieces? No. Any weapons? Okay, I don't have anything in the cube. So I really should start putting some of those in there. Okay, a couple more death breath. Looking pretty dangerous in here now. And we're just trying to portal hop, basically. If it doesn't have what we want, we're going to hop out. Try and kill some of these elites because, again, you know, they can drop you what you want. Targeting this guy right here if you can. Ones that drop the actual stuff. Of course, he didn't drop anything this time. That's a little rude. It feels like I'm missing something here. Another ring, some bracers. Maybe those are going to be a good pair of bracers for seismic slam. That's what I'm kind of hoping to find here. They don't look like it. If you ever see anybody low health, target them in here, by the way. It's better to get rid of an additional threat. Shoulders. Picking up some of those gray items. Okay, some more death breath. Not getting as much in here as we'd like. If we could get one more elite level and survive it, that'd be great. I'm going to try and build up some of my resource in case the next one is an elite level. And let's switch this over to here. Alright, don't like that. These guys can probably kill me pretty easy, and it looks like I can't really do much damage to them. I'm just going to hop through to the next area, except I got frozen there. Please, no more elites. Okay, there they are. Yep. That is not good. I don't think we'll be able to continue through this. Maybe, though. Maybe, though. Let's see. Okay. That was pretty dangerous what we just did. Would not recommend anybody else do that. As soon as you saw those elites, get out of there. I'm playing it risky today. Get out of there. All right. And I'm going to return after killing this guy. I'm going to return back to town and dump most of the stuff and check out some of these legendaries I have. But I'm going to open that chest first just in case he has another legendary.
No way.
Nice of him just to stand here. And there's that extra legendary. Getting a lot of bounty materials, which is great. Looks like my wife's home.
I'm returning to town.
Might have to pause here for a second. That one could be good. The rest of this is honestly not very good at all. So I'll save this one. Alright, so it just closed the game and reloaded, and you can kind of check the Paragon bar to see the progress there and notice that it's the exact same time frame as when we last left. You haven't gained a drop. And that was just because I had to close the game and log back in here. Now, we're going to kind of pick up right where we left off here, and I'm just going to throw everything in the stash that I have here. And again, you guys might know where I'm going with this. But we're going to go to that spare character that we made earlier. This is why I don't mind having a spare character or two. And I could just delete these if I'm done with them. And of course, we're going to make sure that it's hardcore and that everything's good. And this time we're going to do spare 2 since we did the first one already. Once it hit that level, we have to kind of leave it alone there and let it basically stay where it's at. So after making a new character, we're going to run into the visions here. And as you can see, we're getting pretty good with the elites. Now, it's not too bad to just kind of go back and forth inside of these things here. And making sure my microphone's adjusted correctly. It's relatively safe in here. I like to just kind of keep an eye on the debuffs and make sure that I'm not going too crazy in levels. Again, we're level 55 here. You can see that the elites are being a little bit of a pain, but as long as you hop out in between those kind of portals there and jump back in, it's not too bad. We're actually getting a decent amount of legendaries in here too. That was kind of surprising. I feel like normally one run through here will get you maybe 2 or 3 legendaries. Now again, these are probably not the best. I think that's Crush Bane on the ground there, the 2-handed weapon. Can't tell what the belt is just by looking at it here. And it's starting to slow down just a bit, so, you know, not too bad. And let me know if you guys like the way that I'm cutting these things down and editing them a bit here. Anytime I have an in-game recording of this stuff, I'll have my voice recording over it. And then if I need to cut something down, I'll come back through here and pop out any irrelevant voice recordings or keep in something that was relevant at the time. So, and the primary reason that I'm also doing it this way, by the way, is because with the schedule that I have right here, if I were going to record my voice, I have to make sure that basically everybody in my household is asleep, or that my wife is either out with her friends or downstairs. and it's kind of rude just to kick her out of the bedroom because I want to record, which she's very supportive and understanding of that. But it doesn't give me like very consistent time frames every single day to focus on this. So with that being said, what I can do when she's here and she's watching her shows and stuff is I can just record the gameplay and leave the audio, and then I can come back through here and I could add what I want to talk about over the gameplay that we have here. So that's what I'm currently doing now, and when we get long straight movements of uninterrupted gameplay, that's when I have some time to record live here. And for those who are interested, I think I am going to be able to do a live stream here. And it's nowhere soon. It's kind of in the works here. It might be around February or so. And I'll try and find some time to kind of have the whole weekend basically to live stream. Now again, I am in Alaska time, so it might not be the best time frame for you guys here. But if you're interested in that, we'll work on getting it set up. I don't know if you guys care about having a camera or not. Like if you want to see my face, I haven't done any content on here that shows what I actually look like. So if that's something you guys are interested in too, maybe we'll look into doing that. But again, I'm not too familiar with that, so don't get your hopes up. Try my best here. So with that being said, we're just going to go ahead and finish off the rest of this vision here. And hope we stay alive. This is actually a little sketchy of an area where I don't like that. I don't like the ice around me in these things, and I'm at level 59 right now. So it's not looking too safe here, especially with Necrosis on the bar. Now the Barbarian's doing phenomenal though compared to like the Demon Hunter or everything else here. I've got decent movement. God, that ice again. And we're doing enough damage to take out the elites, so I don't think we'll again die in here. Normally I wouldn't risk this too much right in the beginning, but last time it worked relatively okay. So I'm going to try my best to try and build up some of these resources that I need here. And we're basically done. Once we do this rift, we can head back over to the other class and run it. We could maybe do, again, 1 or 2 more of these if you're interested in kind of trying out this method. Let me know if this worked for you guys. Or if you felt it was a little too slow, or if it's better to do the other thing. This is just what I do to guarantee running through the early greater rifts and the early torment difficulties. Getting a couple death breath through here, a couple legendaries to allow us to enchant things if we need it. That's a lot of enemies. And then we'll upgrade some stuff that we have on us in the cube and hope for some cooperative legendaries. Now, usually there's a lot of guys right down here, so I'm always prepared to back up. This is also why, in case you're wondering, why I tend to go to the top row here and clear that out first. Ooh, got pulled in there. Because if there's so many elites that are crowd controlling me down there, if I move up to the top and then they try to swarm me, I'll have a way to kind of work myself back. Whereas if I go straight down the middle here and then I try and back up, I'm running into more elites. And gosh, there's still a lot of them here. Okay, Necrosis on the bar. So it's going to keep adding Necrosis probably here. I can heal 1 or 2 of them away, but it doesn't look like I'll be able to completely get rid of it. That being said, you can always just run back to the portal here and jump to the next area if you want to stay safe. So we don't have too much to worry about here. Alright, these guys are taking a little bit longer to kill than I'd like. Okay, we got rid of the debuff. Kind of like the sound, by the way. I think it's the death breath, or maybe it's killing an elite. That's kind of this little dumb kind of sound in the background. I can't mimic it perfectly, or probably even decently at that. We got another ring, it looks like. Now, I'm still looking for like a good band of might, so I'm excited every time a ring drops, but I'm not counting on it, if that makes sense. And I'm anticipating more like Rogars or Nagel rings and stuff, especially when I'm running through these lower areas. But I'm pretty sure a Bandit can drop before you're level 70. I thought I revealed that. Alright, what is it? Okay, yeah, Rogar's huge stone. But again, legendary ring, throw it on. And most of this gear here we should be picking up, probably, and scrapping it to build up our resources. Now, I know that with this method that I'm doing, I'm going to be running into a higher torment difficulty here really soon. We got the goblin on this one. And with it being a higher torment difficulty, I'll probably get plenty of gear. I usually don't bother with it until I unlock the pet salvage things, because I kind of run straight towards that. And once I get that, I don't got to worry about resources whatsoever, as long as I got a quick enough build going through here. These are kind of hard to fight off here. We're pretty far into the portals at this point. We're about 10 deep. This elite's taking quite a few hits. Now, again, I'm lucky that this isn't just a single target skill, so I can deal damage to everything else that was in here. Now, if this goblin would just hold still. Alright, hold still, please. Okay. Sidestepping my ability at the last second like that. This is the most active goblin I've ever seen. Just need you to hold still so I can kill you, please. Wow, this takes forever. You can see that, like, once we're at the 60s now, and this is going absolutely awful through the visions here at this difficulty. So be careful to not come in here at too high of a difficulty. You can always delete the character, start fresh, make sure you put your gear in your stash before you do that, though. You definitely want to make sure all of the important stuff is stored away. And you can see we're getting a pretty decent amount of items here. I got more yellows than I would actually like, because I can convert yellows with the death breath and use up parts there. Let's see what we got. We're going to put away our gems. And I'm just going to sell this remaining little piece here, because it's not really needed. And I'm decent on gold too, it looks like. Okay, we got Razor Stop, Sever, which isn't really good. The Razor Stop belts we could probably throw on or in our stash here, because we're going to eventually get rid of the sages, so having an extra belt might be useful. We're going to, again, put everything in there, and I should have put this in a separate stash earlier, because it makes more sense to find it easier that way. But we're going to go ahead and switch back to our other character. Okay. And by the way, I'm not sure the exact time that took. Probably like maybe 25 minutes or so to create 2 fresh characters, get them up to about 50, and get a vision or a portal going. And then, of course, farming through the visions or portals. Could be longer or shorter depending on the vision that you're going through. So we're going to go ahead and throw all this stuff back on. Get that last thing there. And now we're going to go ahead and double check everything that we have here. Put a couple things in the stash there because I wasn't sure if they were going to be really useful or not. But we got 58 death breaths, so plenty to upgrade here. This allows us to do 2. I like to start with the pants. Now, I wasn't expecting green here, actually. I was kind of hoping for something else, but as long as it doesn't make a set bonus, we'll be good. So we could do that. Now, between the chest and the gloves or the shoulders over there, I'm not sure which one to do because of the items that you get. I'm leaning towards chest, maybe shoulders, but we'll see what we get here. Okay, we got gold skin. So that's not bad, actually. Now, I did lose some sockets, which is a bit of a bummer, but it's not too much of a disappointment there because gold skin will get us, of course, more gold, and that can be used for some farming builds. We're on master difficulty, so running through here, we're going to see how well we do before running into the greater rifts. This is just kind of my way of testing things out a little bit. Rend, you can see, still isn't doing too much damage for us here. And, let's see, charge, again, I might replace this with, like, leap later on. I'm not entirely sure. I did get an item that boosts sleep, and I'm thinking maybe I should put it in the cube, but... Alright. So the boss is dying pretty fast. And that wasn't anything threatening either. We still have the sages on, so it's not like it's too bad. We did get a greater rift key and a few items there. I didn't think there was this many enemies in this room when I first came in here. I thought that was relatively empty. Alright, not gonna let me move. Feels like more and more of them are spawning in. Okay, that guy came out of nowhere. Alright, looks like they're gonna let us go this time. Okay, that was a weird leg spike there. Alright. We're building up a pretty good amount of gems here, and I still like to get rid of the ones that aren't Marquise or Imperial, so I'll just sell them to get rid of them. And I should probably organize my gems, actually. I use the Roy G. Biv, red, orange, green, yellow, blue. In this case, there's no yellow, and then purple. And then I stack the Imperials on top. Now, I'm pretty sure different regions stack them differently. Some people do like the left side of the screen. I haven't seen anybody really do the right side of the screen, and I'm not sure if there's like a reason for where they're located. I just went with what works for me. And we're going to go ahead and do probably Torment 2 should be fine doing a Greater Rift here. Now, I don't think I'm going to get anything good out of this, but I should get the standard thing you get anytime you run a Greater Rift, which is the Bane of the Powerful gem first, and then we need to run it again to get the Legacy of Dreams. Once we have the Legacy of Dreams, we're going to go ahead and switch it over by giving our Sages set to our follower and making sure we're upgrading all of the gear that we have on us into legendaries, and then occasionally running through the Greater Rifts as well to again upgrade the Legacy of Dreams. Now, this method, as far as I'm aware, is the most consistent across every single class to get through the season journey. It's also relatively some of the fastest. Now, you have sets like the Demon Hunter set this time, which is Impale, and the 2-piece bonus of the Demon Hunter set, especially if you roll into Carlea's Point, is so unbelievably powerful that once you get that, you'll be able to do the entire season journey pretty much no problem, even on hardcore. And that's great. But when somebody's not playing the Demon Hunter, and then they're asking, okay, well, how do I get through with this set? Well, what do I do with this set? Well, what do I do with this set? I don't bother with the sets. I just go straight from level 1 to 70, hopefully finding a legendary or two. As soon as I hit level 70, you can do one of two things. First, you can run straight into Greater Rifts, the lowest difficulty Greater Rifts that you can do 2 of them, and get the Legacy of Dreams gem. And then, of course, you need a socket to throw on the Legacy of Dreams. If you have an extra socket, throw on the Bane of the Powerful too. That's always great. You can see that the elites are dying relatively well here, but if we had the Bane of the Powerful, every time we killed the elite, we would gain a boost in power. And then once you've got those 2 things on, the goal is just to run some bosses or visions, run some bounties, and try and get some legendary items to equip. Now, you can kind of see in the way that I've been getting items just running through the regular areas that you get them decently spaced in terms of time and stuff. Sometimes you get duplicate items, or sometimes you get an extra pair of pants when you don't really need it. Again, you could run some Greater Rifts. On the lower Greater Rifts, Kadala has a very low chance of giving you something good, and the gems are so small, and it takes a while to run these, especially if you don't have a very fast build. So I would recommend not going to Kadala. And you saw that getting those death breath very, very quick, right? Once you get 1 or 2 legendary gear on, especially something that's a little helpful to you or boosts your character in some way, you'll be able to run through all of these absolutely no problem. Like already right now, this is probably a little bit too slow for me running this Greater Rift. And it's actually relatively fast, I would say, for starting Greater Rift at Torment 2 difficulty. Because we're doing a lot of area damage around us to all of the monsters. But we're just running out of resources here. And again, Rend isn't all that useful at this point. I might switch it out with something else. I've been a little disappointed in Weapon Throw as well. Because Weapon Throw is mainly used to maintain massacres. So since we're no longer needing to build up a huge massacre bonus, we could switch this out with something else. A little scary right there for a second there. Saw my health dip and I thought I was going to get overwhelmed. But man, is the Barbarian tough. By the way, when I started creating this YouTube journey here and hoping to get some subscribers and stuff for the channel, my goal was to get 500 subscribers in a year. And you guys have just hit 600 subscribers in about 7 to 8 months or so. So absolutely amazing. Love the support from you guys. That's incredible. That went way above and beyond our expectations for kind of starting YouTube here. So I don't want to seem ungrateful for that in the slightest. Absolutely appreciate you guys and showing love and support in the comments and stuff. We got some more elites here. So I typically don't mind this big area in the Greater Rift here. It's not my favorite, but it's obviously not my least favorite either, especially if you have a quick speed build. How do you guys feel about this area? Is this like too big for you? Do you feel like the monster density should be a little bit better in here? Or is this one of your favorite areas? When I played the Monk, this was my absolute favorite until I started kind of really expanding upon the classes here. Awesome. And one other thing is I'm going to try and keep these videos that I'm doing on the Hardcore Barbarian to about an hour or so. The reason I'm trying to keep them about an hour is I figure, you know what, you watch a TV show and those are about an hour nowadays with ads and stuff like that in them. And I think YouTube's actually throwing ads in my videos and stuff now too. I'm not sure. Let me know if that's like too much, by the way, guys. I don't have any control of the ads on the video, but eventually if I do get access to that, I'll try and find some spots where it's appropriate to have them, because I don't like getting my own videos interrupted by ads. I don't like watching other people's videos getting interrupted by ads, so. Okay, we got Blood Maw. Not my favorite. This guy jumps around so much, and I feel like he always one-hit KOs me. Now, I've been pretty lucky this time through with him not doing too much, but... See, like, he's just jumping too much. Although, I do think that it's a good thing to have Rift Guardians that show up that are kind of scary and stuff. I just wish that there weren't ones where you had to, like, farm them, because some people doing a Greater Rift 150 cannot do it without a specific Rift Guardian, which you don't know until you get to the end of the Rift, obviously. Okay. So there's our Bane of the Powerful. We can upgrade it a couple times. Looks like it gave us another Legendary, which was really nice. I just thought we were getting the gem. Again, typically, once you're above, like, Greater Rift 13, 14-ish or so, you tend to get pretty lucky with getting a Legendary every now and then. So if you can already do that, then you should be fine with damage anyway. But we're going to see what we got here. We got Razor Stop. Or is that... Huh. I don't think I've ever read that correctly. Interesting. I always said Razor Stop. But we're going to go ahead and move on to the second Greater Rift after we go ahead and take care of some of these items here. Put in the Bane of the Powerful. And hope we get the Legacy of Dreams. I believe it's the same for everybody, which is that you do 1 or 2 of them and you get the Legacy of Dreams. Now, if I throw the Bane of Powerful in my amulet there, I'm going to need another socket. So I'm hoping to try and get one there with the rings. And I might craft a few more later on if I need to. But also, maybe I'll get lucky and get one, you know, through Kadala or through the Greater Rift there.
Are you ready?
So we'll see what we want to do first. And again, the difficulty doesn't matter. Since that one was a little bit slow, we can drop it down to Torment 1 and run through it. We got elites right at the door here. Okay, that's nice. And again, that Bane of the Powerful, as soon as we did that, you can see at the bottom of the bar there, that Bane of the Powerful gem activated. Okay, managed to spawn him in this room. Saxtress. Starting to read the names of some of these monsters. We're doing way better damage now. Spawns a lot of ads. I did not know that. Normally I kill these guys so quick. And there's the Legacy of Dreams we were looking for.
I may be able to help you.
Alright, we got a fail in there. Interesting. So probably a little bit higher of a difficulty would have allowed us to upgrade that flawlessly, but... Okay. So again, we're hoping for a socket here. I think it's a lot cheaper for me to just craft a couple of these than it would be to try and enchant them, because it never gives me a socket when I enchant them. And of course we can compare the rings and put on something better if we wanted to. And I might save those rings in the stash as well, including an extra amulet that I want to upgrade to eventually. That way I don't have to worry about crafting them again, because they're level 70, they'll stay level 70, and they upgrade all just the same. We're going to try some rings here. No sockets. So that was all of the avenues I had to put on a socket. This means that we're going to have to go ahead and take out the Bane of the Powerful that we have and put in the Legacy of Dreams. Now we only have, let's see, a couple legendary items working for us here. So before we scrap all that, we'll put on those better things. I need that actually. And then we'll give all, of course, the green sets to the follower. And we could just craft on here whatever else we need. So I think I need boots. Alright. My follower is stuck with the garbage that I gave him before. So now we're giving him a few extra better items. And he can get those extra rings that I had. We need to fully craft our follower, so you can just craft his relic there, and we'll give him an extra pair of shoulders there, nice and easy too. And there we go. That's another season journey objective complete. Alright, now these gems aren't calculated in our damage or toughness correctly on here. You can go to a D3 planner to actually see how much it helps. But we're going to try the highest difficulty Greater Rift now that we've got the Legacy of Dreams on, so you can see the difference in damage once I actually attack correctly. Alright, you can see they're dying pretty fast. There's a one-hit kill, and again, one-hit kills with regular mobs. Some elites. The elites are about 4 hits, which again, is pretty good. It's a lot better than before, and we're on a higher difficulty, of course. So with that extra damage, we're able to move through here a little bit quicker. And we're also able to deal a lot more consecutive damage as well. Okay. So I lost a little bit of health because I was hoping to find a pylon nearby, but it doesn't look like there is any near here. So we'll just have to deal with the Rift Guardian without it. 7 items crushed. Love it. So the Rift Guardian's a little bit stronger than I thought he would be here. This is Greater Rift level 15. Alright. Achievement Soloist. We are Solo Barbarian rank 54, and this is hardcore Solo Barbarian, by the way, guys. So if you're wondering why that's such a high rank, it's because you have to be playing hardcore, and you have to be playing solo, and you have to be on North America in order to enter in this bracket. And with the pool, the size of people who play Deadpool, not that big. And I believe also a large amount of people play not Deadpool. A lot of people play Diablo on console, and console I think is also in a different bracket as well. So we're doing pretty good here so far. Now I did miss like a whole day going out and getting our Christmas tree, which in case you guys are wondering, we got a beautiful tree this year, perfectly bushy and stuff. My wife actually likes it, and we got it all decorated and hung up and ready for the Christmas spirit. So. Right, rank 12. Now, I think if I can craft a socket onto this one, I need to enchant an item anyway. Maybe I can't craft the socket. That's not. Try the other one. So I think if I just roll the socket onto itself or off of it and then back on, it'll work. All right, that worked. And I just realized that there was a socket on the other item there. That's probably why it wouldn't work. It blended in so well that I completely missed it. All right. Diamonds and vitality for resistance. Now, I just did that to test out if I had socketed enough items in my gear to get it. I'm pretty sure I've already gotten it earlier and just missed it. And the next thing that we could do is go around and check the enchantments on all of these things to see if there's anything better. I'm not going to mess with the damage because I'm not sure if that needs to be changed. But everything else on there looks good. And it also occurs to me that I don't think I put this on earlier. So I ran that whole thing without a belt, which I intended to put on for an extra boost in damage with the Legacy of Dreams. So now we got to kill some monsters, and it doesn't really matter the difficulty for those. We're going to go ahead and switch over to the leap skill, and we're going to extract this item and put it in our inventory here, our cube. And actually we're going to remember to equip it, which is the most important aspect of extracting something in the cube here. Now, I don't anticipate this will save us too much time, but a couple leaps will be great. Let's see here. I meant to move that. Again, Ren's not very useful, so Seismic Slam is going to replace it on the right click there. Now, I'm not really sure which of these skills is the best. I think Frenzy sounds okay, and I'm pretty sure I have an item for it. I don't think I want to use the actual item for it, but I feel like this should allow me to get some of my Fury regeneration back a little bit better. If it doesn't turn out the way I expect it to, I'll switch to something else, Bash or Cleave, you know, and find a way to get my Fury back a little bit faster because I'm feeling it lacking quite a bit. Again, this Furious Charge needs to be Leap, wherever it is. Go. And again, I'm not really too keen on what to put on here, so I'm just looking through and finding what works best. Most of the time in the early game, when it comes to selecting these skills and things, I just go based on the legendary items I get. If I get a legendary item that boosts something, I'll try it out. I'll look through the skills, see what finds useful or see what works best. Like Warcry sounds really good, so I'm just going to throw it on and look through, again, things that I need. I need Fury, so I'm going to get some extra Fury from that. And roll with this until I get my set. Once I get my actual set, then I'm going to go ahead and follow the guides on max roll and see what actually works best for me there. And one thing I have to be kind of careful of whenever I switch to my set is that the reason some skills are put on those guides is based on certain items. So if you lack those items, then it makes sense to actually have something else on your bar rather than what's recommended. And sometimes, for example, in like the push versions of the sets, they're anticipating that you have a large amount of Paragon, so they might not say, oh, put on, you know, extra vitality on this gear and stuff. And then if you're on hardcore and you're following along with the max roll guides, you can put on a push set and you can get all of the skills in there correctly and stuff, and then you can run into a higher difficulty area because you say, okay, great, now I've got my set, and then immediately die from a mob, all because you didn't have one of your skills active, or one of your skills fell off. Alright, so again, we're doing pretty good damage here. This time he's dying a little bit faster, and we're on a high enough difficulty. I did that with 9 minutes and 24 seconds remaining. So I guess a little bit slower than the one before, but that's expected. Now we can upgrade those gems. And it looks like we got a green weapon over there. I wonder what that could be. Maybe one of the Barbarian's set weapons. Another set item as well.
I grow in power.
I think this might be Balkuthus. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to save every set item. We got an Ancient Poxfolds. That's great. So I'm going to throw those on. They got the double sockets, which is fine for me. We'll get some more vitality. And then I could throw that other set piece in the stash for hopefully a chance of building it up. So all of those are going to go in their own little stash. And what I'm going to try and do is organize it. So normally I do this off recording and stuff, but I have a little stash for the Barbarian, or whatever class that I'm playing. And then I do one for the gems, and that's not the right gems. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, these ones for the legendary gems. So I'll move everything else that's off of that temporary stash tab. And then I like to do rings and stuff next, where I throw all my rings and amulets wherever the ring thing is. Where are you? There you are. And then following that, we do armor. I just do that one for that. And then finally, we'll do one for weapons. And then the other ones are kind of miscellaneous tabs. So I'm going to go through and kind of organize this. All of these yellows that are in here, again, I typically wouldn't have them in here, but in the early game, I'll probably upgrade a couple of these. And I need something to fall back on in case I do end up destroying my character by doing something stupid. So all of this stuff is going to stay in here for a little bit, and then it's going to get replaced with just legendary gear, or spare sets that I can fall to. And again, if you guys organize your tab differently, I asked this last time but didn't get too many responses. Do you guys ever do this? I don't think you can do this on console, so this is just how I do it. And I don't actually need those weapons. Okay, so we can get some more stuff from her. Now, hopefully, maybe I can gamble something good, like a helm, and get lucky with a legendary here. Okay, we got a broken crown. That's great. So part of it is like, what gems do you want to drop? But then also you got to think about what the gem does in the gears. So like the red's going to give me some more experience, but not very much at level 70. I always like extra vitality wherever I can get it. And I don't have a diamond on me, which would be good for cooldown. So I'm just going to throw that in. We got a lot of Paragon to spend here now too. In the early game, I don't think a lot of these Paragon matter, so you don't have to put them in every time you go up a level or every couple levels. I just wait until I get about 10 or so in, and then I start kind of putting them on my character. And I try to do it, again, about every 10 Paragon per 4 tabs. So I guess, you know, technically like 20 or 30 Paragon. Alright, well, we're doing plenty of damage in here. This is our Greater Rift 20, so this is what you need to complete the season journey. Now, we're doing this early before we do some of the other stuff, which requires us to do Acts 1 through 5. And the reason we're doing this Greater Rift thing first, by the way, again, in case you guys were curious, is that it'll hopefully allow us to get some of the gems that we need, which will boost a little bit of our power. We can throw those on our character with some sockets. We have to do the GR20 anyway. And if we can do it on a Greater Rift Torment 4, for example, then that gives us a baseline for doing Torment 4 in the open world. So if we want to go around and get some goblins or visions while we're doing bounties, we can set the exact difficulty we want based on how we're doing in the Greater Rifts. Something to keep in mind is if you're doing these Greater Rifts and you're getting a lot of pylons and that's what's supporting you through, do not get out of this Greater Rift and go into the open world. Alright, again, we're taking them out pretty easy. We haven't had any near deaths or anything in here, so.
For fury, need more time.
10 minutes and 9 seconds remaining. A little faster than before. That's because we got that boost to Legacy of Dreams and that extra item. And I don't think those are very good legendaries there, but we'll check them out. So anytime you see a cut where I'm just standing still like that, that was when I had to go help somebody else around the house with something and had to pause it for a minute. Skull Grasp. Interesting. Damage of Whirlwind. We'll probably save that and put it on for now. Wrath of the Bone King. I can't get rid of my item, so we'll put this in the stash here. I think we'll end here for today. It's about an hour or so, so I thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.